What is astrology? It comes from the words astro, logos. Logos as in the beginning of the Bible. In the beginning there was logos, which was poorly translated into word. Logos is not just speaking of a word. Logos is the synthesis of idea and word. In a way, it's the logic of the universe, and astrologos is the synthesis of metaphysics and physics. It's how the metaphysical becomes physical. Astrology, simply stated, is a study in correlation that planetary patterns have causal relationships to events here on Earth. As the ancients said, as above, so is below. The within is like the without of things. Astrology claims that we as living organisms on planet Earth are affected by and part of a larger cosmic fabric. We can see that in the framework of our lives if we look at it accordingly. For example, we move through the seasons astrologically. The Earth moves around the sun according to a logos, according to a logic of astrology. In a way, it has been said that astronomy, nomi naming, astro-naming is about naming of things up there, the giving of the names and definitions of stars and various celestial objects. Astrology, however, is about the meaning that is attached to those very same objects. It's been said that astronomy is a glove and astrology is the living hand inside. As an astrologer, I am a pattern seeker. I look for correlations between larger rhythms and smaller patterns. I look for correlations between events up there and events down here, and I find them. Matter of fact, many astrologers throughout the ages have found these very same patterns. Astrologers have been employed by kings and queens and popes and religions throughout all humanity in order to get a sense of what's going on. Even Christianity, which says in the Lord's Prayer, it is done on earth as it is in heaven, is simply reflecting that fact that there is a connection between events down here and events up there. When I look at the planets, I don't see planets with names. I see a rich mythology of symbol. But are planets particles or are planets waves? Is light a particle or is light a wave? At the microcosm, quantum physics has us believing that microscopic subatomic particles are both at once particles and waves. It's the particle-wave duality. At the macroscopic level, planets in their own macro-quantum universe are both particles and wave. We look up there and we see Saturn in the night sky, or we see the moon in the night sky. But the fact is that the moon is also a wave. It's a wave of 13 beats or 13 cycles per year. And that 13 cycles per year is not any different than a cycle of hundreds or hundreds of thousands of cycles per second. The difference is that we can't hear it and we can't see it. We can only watch it unfold in time. And now we come full circle, because astrology is the study of these waves. It's the study of planet waves, introducing not just a three-dimensional reality of the real world as we see it, but it introduces a fourth dimension, and that fourth dimension is time. And of course, Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, shows clearly that mass and light are tied up as one. That mass becomes light, becomes mass, becomes light in an endless dance. And in fact, it is through time, but time is tied up to the speed of light, because as we approach the speed of light, time becomes infinitely slow. Time stops at the speed of light. And so here there becomes this kind of paradox of time and space all being mixed in, and we look at astrology as a way of understanding how what we perceive in this moment as now is actually just one piece of an ongoing unfolding of planetary cycles, and we can actually use the mapping techniques of astrology, which we astrologers call a horoscope. Just like a telescope allows us to scope to see tele far away. A microscope allows us to scope to see something micro, tiny. A horoscope allows us to see the hour. The word horo is just Greek for hour. So that astrologers have a technology that allow us to unfold the understanding of this moment with respect to a larger perception of time. Whether we do it in an individual's life, an individual who is born, gets sick, gets healthy, becomes of age, has a girlfriend or a boyfriend, suffers loss of love, suffers the death of a parent, has a great job, has their own family, becomes married, has a family, grows older, and all these events seem to correlate in our lives to the same invisible hands on these cosmic clocks that we astrologers observe by watching the planets go around